A secret society behind some of the biggest tragedies and scandals the world has ever seen. Or a society of altruistic men with a loyalty to brotherhood and helping their fellow man. Which captures your imagination more? Let's find out in our 15 things you didn't know about the Freemasons. Number 1. The shift from stonemason to Freemasons. Considering the veil of secrecy that surrounds the Freemasons, how did they go from a guild for stonemasons and cathedral builders in the Middle Ages to the Freemasons we all know today? Many cite the start of Freemasonry as 1717, but it goes further back. BBC.com reports evidence that associations of Freemasons have been around since the 1500s, and adds, it wasn't until the turn of the 16th century that those medieval guilds gained an institutional structure, the point at which many consider to be the birth of modern Freemasonry. One theory is that stonemasons would often leave their home to work for months elsewhere, and joining a society would guarantee there would be assistance and brotherhood wherever they worked. Others believe it was a society where trade secrets, skills, and new knowledge was taught or imparted. This is thought to have extended to an organization that was open to exciting intellectual developments, and so Freemasonry was born. Number 2. The recent death of a famous Freemason. You might think he'd been around since the Freemasons started. He was almost 100 years old after all, but that's not the case. The late Prince Philip began his Freemasonry journey when he was 31 years old back in 1952. He was initiated into the Navy Lodge. Just a few months thereafter, he progressed on to the second degree of Freemasonry and then the third. He was a member of the United Grand Lodge of England until his death. He was patron or president for some 800 organizations and had special interests in scientific and technological research and development, the encouragement of sport, the welfare of young people, and conservation of the environment, according to FreemasonryToday.com. And he's not the only famous Freemason, as you'll hear next. Number 3. Other Freemasons and the role they played in Freemasonry. In the Navy Lodge, which Prince Philip was a part of, there have been some high-profile names as past members. They include King Edward VII, King Edward VIII, King George VI, and King George II of the Hellenes. Other notable names include George Washington, Clark Gable, former U.S. Presidents Andrew Jackson and Theodore Roosevelt, Harry Houdini, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, Mark Twain, Nat King Cole, Oliver Hardy from Laurel and Hardy, and plenty more. We're merely scratching the surface here. TheGuardian.com confirms there are 6 million Freemasons around the world, with 200,000 of them residing in the UK. The initiation process of becoming a Freemason is quite involved, which we'll delve into shortly. And Alexers, remember to subscribe to our channel for more daily informative videos just like this one. Number 4. Initiation is par for the course. Each lodge has its own interpretation of the initiation process, and according to The Guardian, candidates do have an unusual process to follow before becoming members. There are 3 levels: apprentice, journeyman, and master. When inducted into a specific lodge, members are initiated. Once the member has joined a lodge, they're automatically members for life, but they can leave whenever they want. Candidates must roll up one trouser leg to prove they're healthy and unshackled, confirming they're a free man. They must expose the left breast to prove they're not a woman, which we'll need to expand on later when we tell you more about women in Freemasonry. And a rope noose known as a cable tow is placed around his neck. This is a representation of his ties to his fellow Masons. Blindfolded, the new member is led into the lodge meeting room where he is introduced to some secret signs, including the handshake, a word, and a symbol. Number 5. What does religion have to do with it? A little and a lot. For starters, Masons may not discuss religion or politics when in meetings. Freemasonry is not a religion, which has been frustrating for many Catholics wanting to join the society, as the Catholic Church condemns Freemasonry. The Church has been against the Masons since 1738 due to their fears over Masonic temples and the rituals that took place inside. In the 19th century, the Vatican described the Masons as the synagogue of Satan. Going forward to 1983, the church said their principles have always been considered irreconcilable with the doctrine of the church, and therefore a membership in them remains forbidden. The faithful who enroll in Masonic associations are in a state of grave sin and may not receive Holy Communion, as cited by History.com. Number 6. What do Freemasons believe in? Anyone wanting to become a Freemason must believe in a higher deity or a supreme being. This includes the gods of Islam, Hinduism, or any other world religion. This god is the grand architect of the universe. However, atheists are not welcome. The reason is that Freemasons take responsibility for their actions on Earth, so when they meet their maker one day, they can attest to having lived a good life. An atheist wouldn't have this accountability, and the obligation to Freemasonry and its beliefs would mean nothing, according to Freemasonry. So atheists are ruled out. But what about women? Number 7. Women can become Freemasons. There are nearly 5,000 female Freemasons. The Honorable Fraternity of Ancient Freemasons was formed in 1913, and by 1958, they were called the Order of Women Freemasons to make the single sex more noticeable. The women dress in white robes during ceremonies, with regalia worn around their necks. They follow a similar initiation process as what we mentioned earlier. And if you're wondering about bearing the breast, according to BBC.com, who wrote about the initiation process of Diala Zaza Nikela, she bared her right arm, left breast, and knee while a noose was placed around her neck during her first-degree initiation. Number 8. Let's dispel some Freemasonry myths. As the world's oldest fraternal organization, you can only imagine the tales that have been spun. Here's a few. Freemasons are behind income taxes in the U.S. Freemasons get lighter sentences when tried in court. Freemasons faked the moon landings. Freemasons managed to keep the flat Earth a secret. Humanoid reptiles are responsible for societies like the Freemasons and the Illuminati. And Freemasons are devil worshippers and enjoy homosexual orgies. And speaking of homosexual orgies, what's the Freemason stance on gay men? Number 9. Do the Masons allow gay men to join? Overall, it's not un-Masonic to be gay, therefore gay people can become a Freemason. However, just like the initiation process can be tweaked to suit a certain lodge, so can this outlook. This came to light in 2016 when gay farmers from Tennessee tied the knot. Both Freemasons, the men received a letter from the Grand Lodge of Tennessee detailing their marriage as un-Masonic. According to NPR.org, lodges from California to Belgium are urging Tennessee to lift the ban. They say it harms the future of the organization, which is looking to stay relevant and attract younger members. In 2018, the Freemasons placed adverts in several national newspapers in England, calling for discrimination against their members to stop. The United Grand Lodge of England confirmed that members from all walks of life were welcomed, but some were undeservedly stigmatized, according to BBC.com. Number 10. Do Freemasons make money through Freemasonry? The answer is no, and it's a question that has Freemasons exacerbated. As Nigel Brown, former Grand Secretary of the United Grand Lodge of England, tells BBC, networking within Freemasonry and trying to use it for personal gain is completely forbidden. The job of Freemasons is to assist when someone is in trouble, not create wealth. In fact, what they do well is to give wealth away. The Freemasons are big on fundraising and donations. Any quick online search reveals headlines like Masonic Lodge prepares for Chilean gumbo fundraiser, How the Freemasons of Cary Grove help the community, Cambridgeshire Freemasons pandemic donations reach £1 million, and Freemasons in £2,000 donation to the 32nd Scouts in Greenock. What do you think, Aluxers? Sounds like a group that likes to give back. Number 11. Which countries are opposed to Freemasonry and why? Throughout the history of Freemasonry, countries have banned people from joining. It's called anti-Masonry, meaning avowed opposition to Masonry, according to Wiki. The earliest recorded anti-Masonic document was from 1698, a leaflet printed by a London Presbyterian minister named Winter. In 1922, the Soviet Union banned all secret societies. Nazi Germany did not take kindly to Freemasons. Nazi-occupied countries are believed to have killed between 80 to 200,000 Freemasons. Benito Mussolini dissolved Freemasonry in Italy in 1925, claiming it was a political organization. Egypt banned Freemasonry in 1964, and Syria banned all lodges in 1965. While many of the bans have been lifted, it's allegedly still illegal in Arab countries, except for Lebanon and Morocco. Number 12. What's the appeal of becoming a Freemason? For starters, you're joining the world's oldest fraternal organization, but as you already know, there's no financial, social, or even judiciary gain from being a Freemason. And Luxers, we recommend you head over to Audible and listen to The Craft, How Freemasons Made the Modern World by John Dickey. It's packed with insight on Freemasonry, and you can claim your free book at alux.com/freebook. Number 13. What symbols are important to Masonry? As we mentioned earlier, the stonemasons, where Freemasons came from, had freedom to travel, as suggested by Dr. Matthias Pullman for DW.com. Handshakes were introduced to prevent betrayal and preserve professional secrecy. With that came passwords and handshakes, which Freemasons still use today. Symbols associated with Freemasonry include the square and compass. The compass is the circle of fraternity, and the square represents the proper conduct from each member. The water level implies that everyone is equal, and the three pillars in the center of the Masonic temple represent beauty, strength, and wisdom. It's up to each member to continually work on their own personal development. Number 14. Is there still a need for a secret society? The Freemasons have often said they're not a secret society. They're a society that has secrets. NPR.org published an article claiming the Freemasons believe they're needed now more than ever. Numbers are dwindling, and many Freemasons had hoped that when the community saw the massive difference the Masons were making in the lives of others, they might get an influx of new members. Number 15. What other secret societies are still going today? Right, not so secret if we're talking about them here, but let's go. The Illuminati. Many claim to be direct descendants of the original Bavarian Illuminati. Next, not really a secret, but an invite-only society, the Bilderberg Group, made up mainly of North American and European elites. Then there's the Order of the Skull and Bones from Yale University, and Scarabian Senior Society founded in 1915 at the University of Tennessee. So, Luxers, what's your thought on secret societies, and do you believe they have any relevance today? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And of course, you stuck with us until the end. Here's your bonus. If you're keen on Freemasonry, here's how you join. In the past, you needed to join through a sponsor who would vouch for your integrity. Today it's done online, thanks COVID, or you're invited to seminars. The requirements are you're free from addictions and dependencies, and you have a good reputation. It's simple, not secretive, and definitely not scary. As Benjamin Franklin once said, Masonic labor is purely a labor of love. He who seeks to draw Masonic wages in gold and silver will be disappointed. The wages of a Mason are in the dealings with one another. Sympathy begets sympathy. Kindness begets kindness. Helpfulness begets helpfulness. And these are the wages of a Mason. Thanks for watching, Luxers. We hope you enjoyed today's video. We always appreciate your likes, and don't forget to subscribe for more.